Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us at this Hollywood Red Sharks team announcement presser. With us, our head coach, John Plumtree, and this is ahead of the game against Scarlets taking place on Saturday, 25th October at Hollywood Bets Kings Park. Mike Greenaway, your hand is raised. You can go ahead with your question.
Morning, John. I guess there's been a lot of fallout from last week's loss. Just how have you been coping personally? And if I can ask, have you had support from senior guys like maybe Evan and Sia in terms of reading the right act to the group, if you like?
Yeah, look, I mean, obviously, like I said, straight after the game, we're all, disappointing result. We know how important in this competition is to win home games, and we always want to play our best rugby in front of our fans at the stadium. And when that doesn't happen, it's terribly frustrating for everyone. And everyone was hurting. Everyone felt really, really bad after the game in the changing room. Wasn't a nice place to be. And then Sunday, it still feels a little bit the same, but you go to work and you start putting plans in place and for the week. And over the Monday arrived and it's a really tough review. Around parts of the game that we didn't control, that we felt we could control. And after half time, a bit of a shake-up in the changing room around just upping our intent in terms of our physicality. And then, we scored 2012, and I thought, here we go, we'll turn this around, even though we did have a yellow card. And then when Mapimpi got a yellow card that turned into a red, well, it became really difficult, so the fight back became pretty tough after that yellow that turned into a red. So yeah, and then there was, obviously, the players have done a bit of soul searching along with, coaches, management. Everyone's looked in the mirror, asked the question around where they could be better, and what that looks like for us coming into the week, what we need to do in terms of preparing for the Scarlets, and then going out and performing not just for our fans, but also for ourselves. The players are a proud bunch. Sometimes for some people it might not look like that, but they are, and they are human. Sometimes, we get things right, we don't get things right on the park, and we're not going to search for any excuses. But I've had a look at myself and the way potentially I could have managed those 2 days of preparation better, what I could have done more, what I could have done less. And taken that on board. So all I can do is just really assure you that everyone really is working hard as possible. And sometimes when you do that, you still don't get what you want, but it's just really important that we don't chuck our processes out, and we all just go to work and ask for more effort, ask for more fight, and then prepare as well as we can, and then look forward to the weekend.
Thanks. Good luck for the weekend.
Next question, please, Stephen. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Hi, John. John, just your thoughts behind Eben being the captain this week. Is it sort of almost a thought of, you need a player of that stature can sort of really, lift the team in terms of the leadership he provides?
Well, Eben is always going to be our captain this season, but we just thought with, he had a week last week where he trained once, and they had the baby on the Thursday, and then he played on the Saturday. So his preparation was far from ideal. So it wasn't worth burdening him with the captaincy as well. So Sia as well had a little bit on in his personal life that we just thought it was better that Vincent, who'd come off the tour and is respected by the players, just carried on with the job. But as it stands, just for clarity, the three of those guys will captain the team at some point. Obviously, when we have Springbok resting, player unavailability, those are the three guys that are likely to captain the Sharks.
Cool, thanks. Good luck.
Thanks,
Next
Steve.
question, please. Kaniso, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Navash. Good morning, colleagues. I hope all is well. John, this season does feel like a bit of a deja vu to your first season where the Sharks just did not get off to a good start, and that did it just filtered down, but those filtered down to the rest of the season. Um, does this particular start feel like that particular start? And does that put you under pressure?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like it's my job to prepare the team to, get the results that we need to get what we want at the end of the year. So, does it put me under pressure? Yeah, of course it does. We all know the game. We don't go into it naively. So yes, and again, it just goes back to sort of what I said before. There is a sort of feeling for me that I can't control everything. Some things I can control, and those are things that I look to make sure that I nail personally in my job. And there's some things that I can't control. So I can't control injuries. I can't control the fact that we had an early tour, and then I can't control the fact that we have limited preparation when we go into a big game against Ulster. But what I can control is what we did in those 2 days. And if I didn't nail that for the performance that we needed for Saturday, then I need to look at myself, and that's what I've done. So you're right. It does look like the start of my first year. My first year here, like you say. But certainly for me, it doesn't feel like that. I feel like we've come a long way in other parts of the business. When the squad's all fit, I think we've got the best squad that we've ever had, and that can win rugby matches. Just want the opportunity to turn this around. I think that's the key thing. We've all got to work smart, and we've all got to work hard to do that.
Thank
And then
you.
how do you sorry, well, I just got a follow-up question.
Go
And then
ahead.
how do you fix it? Because if you look at how the season's structured, this weekend's the last game. And then when you come back, you've got one more game after the international season. There's one more game, and then there's Champions Cup. So how do you then fix? How do you put in time and effort and consistency to fix what's been the problem at the start of the season with so many moving parts?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a good question. So we've got one more game, and then obviously the Northern Tour for the Springboks, and then we've got Connacht in Ireland straight after that. Then we've got Toulouse in France, and then back to play Saracens on a limited preparation. But those are all hurdles that we're just going to have to negotiate and do our best with. Hopefully by by December, I've got 5-6 forwards available for selection. We do have a fit bill of healthy players to select from, and then we can really go into December with some confidence. So yeah, there's some challenges, real challenges, but those challenges are there for every team in South Africa. So ours are no different. They might just come at different periods of the season.
Thank you. Angus, go ahead.
Thanks, Navash. Good morning, Plum. Plum, looking at this weekend's weather, it's going to be quite hot, but also from kickoff, the humidity is actually going to go like up and up until the end of the match. And looking back at last season's game against Scarlets, which was quite a scrappy one, does that in any way affect your preparation heading into this clash this weekend?
Oh, look, it's nothing we're not used to, we train in it, so we play in it, you know, whether it affects Scarlett's performance, I don't know. But the ball becomes slippery, as we all know, and there are other parts makes the players get a bit hot. But we haven't talked about that. We've got enough on our plate right now to talk about getting our game right, getting it where we need to be. We know it could be, like I say, it could be a bit scrappy because of the heat, but it doesn't matter. We just again, we just deal with that on the day.
Thanks, coach.
Next question, please.
Navash, if I can just go again,
Go
just
ahead,
on
Mike.
a different sort of level altogether. John, how good is it for you and Laura to have Tane in town? Good to have him back.
Yeah, no, it's always nice to have Tane around. He's just up the road, and he's had a couple of meals at the house, and but we haven't talked about rugby, to be honest. None of us. Well, we banned the conversations at the table. General, so it's just been a bit of a taboo sort of rugby conversations have been a bit taboo. That's the right word. Yeah, we've got plenty of other stuff to talk about.
Thanks.
Are there any further questions, guys? If there's no further questions, Plum, thank you for your time. And media, thank you for yours. All the best.